didn't think it did. And that's when like my dad
There
even
it is.
my dad messaged me. He's like, uh, you dropped a lot of F-bombs. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I didn't realize that it was live streaming.
Whoops.
Think it
All right,
did. And
I'm
that's
jumping on.
like my dad
There it
even
is. Ah,
my dad messaged me. He's
okay.
like, I'm turning that off because it shows it. So I guess we're good. We're good there. But we'll
All
give it
right.
a minute
I'm gonna
to
make some comments and let people know.
yeah, I'll give it a second to let people know that we're here. Oh, it sent me an email saying that I'm live on my channel.
That's convenient.
It didn't do that last time. So maybe I actually
Maybe
figured
it
it out.
watched and figured out what a hard time we had last time.
Yeah, it's like let's not do that. Like they dropped way too many swear words. Yeah, it looks like it's there. Okay. Let me see if I can get I'm gonna turn the volume down and I really need to set up like a dual screen setup. I need a microphone, a dual screen setup, all these things.
All
Think
the regular streamer slash podcaster. I think
yes.
podcaster is probably an outdated term now, so we'll say
Yeah.
streamer.
Streamer stuff, yes. So well, yeah, now it's 5 o'clock. So we'll get a few minutes. We'll see, make sure
Cool.
people are in. If not, we'll just roll right into it.
Oh yeah, you can just watch it for the comments on the page. I didn't think
Yeah.
about doing that.
So, and
Just
we'll
turn down the
see
volume.
who shows up. If anybody. I mean, they might not. We might be talking to ourselves, which is okay.
I mean, that's normally what we would do anyway. Let's be
Yeah.
honest. Again, all this is the added benefit of people being able to listen
Yeah,
for once.
exactly. So, but yeah, it's been fun. It's like a weekly thing I look forward to now.
I always forget about it until like midweek. We
Yeah, it's
get
like, oh
Wednesday,
yeah, that's
Thursday.
right. That's right. We got to do this thing.
Oh, cool. I
So
get to
let's see. Where's
ramble.
my notes? I think I have. So we'll discuss the Old Sunspot region and that transient event that we think is from a CIR, which I could see in why it didn't last because those coronal holes were like on the edges.
Drive
Uh,
by CIR.
yes, I like that.
I feel
And
like
I
it's
guess
accurate at this point.
I have like the clickbaity articles and then what to expect this week, which I guess is not much until the Sunspot region.
Pretty much. In
Rolls
that
in.
case, we can, I guess, go on and off sharing screens.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see if you. What do we want to do? We want to start with the Sunspot region because if you want, you can start it.
Okay. Yeah, that works. Let's do.
Share away.
Get me ready.
Look at that prettiness.
I know, right? It's all ready and everything. It's being prepped. All right, well, let's see if we have any other people. I guess it doesn't really matter, right?
Yeah, yeah. We'll just roll into it and see what happens.
All right, cool. Well, in that case, let's do, I think it makes more sense to start with the M9 flare
Yes.
that we had, what, about 10 hours ago?
Yeah, yeah. That sounds right.
About 1300 UT. So, yeah, something close to that. M9, what was it? It was 9.2. Yeah, 9.3, one or the other.
Yeah, I know it was rounded up to 9.3, I think.
Which, of course, southeastern limb, a lot of people thinking it's 3664 because it's supposed to be making its turn back. But
Yeah, but
as Sarah and a few other people are making known using at least the full limb chart, 3697, as it was before it left its second rotation, had
Mhm.
some flux growth to the east, or sorry, west of it. So it would be seen first, which I wish I could zoom in on this GIF, but it's not letting me. The
Yeah,
arrow is pointing to the new flux, whereas the circle is 3664/97.
yeah. So it's in front of it. So it's not from 3664 slash what was the last one?
Yeah,
3697? Yeah.
3697, and it's
And
so
now
now we're
it's
gonna have probably
30,
37,
30 yeah,
25, or 26.
3723, I think is the official. Or is
Okay,
or
for
is
that first one.
2021 in front of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now the fun part though, 3664 when it first started out in center region, it was pretty much two separate groups that grew into each other. And
Yeah.
they were pretty close proximity like that. So now I'm beginning to wonder if this is going to amplify it further and merge even more into what's already a mess there, clearly.
Yeah. I still can't believe this is on its third rotation. That's
I mean,
crazy.
I want to say I've probably seen three, maybe four active regions in cycle 24 make three rotations. This is the
Okay.
first one of cycle 25 I've seen.
All right.
But the cycle 24 regions were quiet, all three of
Yeah,
them. They're,
and
I mean, they were
this,
there, but not a lot of activity.
I
This
think,
is the first one I've seen that busy.
yeah, I think Tamitha said something like this is the first one she's seen that, like, that's been as active like this to make 3 rotations since cycle 23. Infamous,
Wow.
yeah, infamous cycle 23.
I like
So
that we get a reference back to that.
yeah, so that says something. I think this could, I mean, obviously we don't know what's gonna happen, but it's good to see. It's good to see the activity.
I'm hit and miss on this. I'm enthusiastic about it, but at the same time, it needs to retire. I'm okay
Yeah,
with it not performing a third rotation,
it
especially
keeps
with the media hits we keep getting.
yeah, it keeps the Space Weather Prediction Center busy.
Yeah, which they are seeming pretty aggravated. They're getting even passive aggressive in all of the notifications that are coming out.
Yes.
36,
Sure.
64, 97, again with a flare, dot, dot, dot. Like, yeah, we get it, guys. You're annoyed.
Yes. So
We
yeah,
are
that's
too.
but yeah, this should be fun to watch next, I don't know, week, I guess.
Yeah,
It takes about a week to get around.
about 2 days, we should see the full extent of the region at least, so we can know a little more about what we're dealing with. I'm assuming based on at least that look that there's probably some sort of a gap between the two, but it doesn't look like there'll be much. So it's gonna be
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, yeah. Now, did you have the synoptic map up or not? Because I can
No,
bring
if
it
you
up.
want to pull that, if you got that closer, I need to
I
actually
will
find that
do.
site again.
Okay, hold on. I will do. Oh, look, what's allow multiple sharing? I don't know what that is. Let's see.
Wait, does that mean you can share as well? Let's
Let me
experiment.
see. Okay, is that all right? So you could probably see my screen.
I can't, but you know what? I'm gonna hit
Okay.
stop share anyway. There we
Yeah.
go.
All right. So I will bring up the synoptic map because these are fun. You can see
These
it,
are
right?
fun.
Um, but yeah, I think they have this. Where is it? This is, yeah, you're right. So that's going to be 3726 because they have um 22. Where's 23? Right here.
6,
23,
23,
20.
24.
So those are like the ones that are right in front. Then I'm guessing this is going to be the what was old 3664, right? If I'm reading that right.
Yeah, I think it's a little more behind that one.
Okay. So these are just different. All right.
Yeah, that looks right. Because I don't think we even have a plage coming up for old
Okay.
664 yet.
All
Man,
right.
that's tedious to say.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
We
three.
need a shortcut name for it. It needs a name, honestly. At this point, I think it's been around long enough that the sunspot deserves a name of its own.
Yeah. So we're thinking this one, this 26 is the one, the lead region then, right?
Yeah, the one
Yeah.
that came up at the front of it, at least.
Okay. Yeah, okay. All right. And then
Which clearly still active. I mean, even that
yeah.
one's flaring.
So the coronal holes in question were this one, 47, and this guy up here. So I'm thinking the CIR was I don't know. Both of those are kind of out of like,
We're a little higher up in the northern hemisphere at the moment, so I would bet
yeah, so
money it would
probably
be
this
our
one.
top one. Hmm.
Yeah.
I'll be honest though, even if you look at the polarity, so I think phi
Uh-huh.
was mostly variable through that period. Oh, I did have the solar wind stats up too.
Okay. Yeah, so but no, I could give it back to you now. So now that we saw the synoptic map, we can bring it back.
All
Back
right,
to
so
ping pong it.
this is the last day at least. Phi, it is predominantly towards in a negative orientation, which is what the kernel hole was, so that would also make
Okay.
sense. It
Yeah.
did look like a CIR, but it looks like the CIR just kind of stopped
Yeah, it was
and then it went back to
very
normal.
short. It was kind of short-lived. Which would make sense because it's not, I mean, though both of those were pretty high and low.
Just getting the flanked edges, and that's that.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically we had activity here, or I'm circling it with the mouse like you can see it.
We had activity here,
Yes, that's what I meant to do.
or even highlighting is weird on this. And it'll zoom into that spot too. But yeah, nice long period of negative BZ for a while. Some slightly elevated stuff. I'm assuming there was a few substorms from what I saw on Mags last night.
Yeah,
Actually, a
actually,
fairly big one too.
if you want, I have that the electrojet.
All
So
yours.
so I will share it back. Okay. Application. Let's see if I can. We'll go back to Microsoft Edge share. Okay. All right. I hate when the bar is up top and I can't see what's on there. So yeah. So you can see here there was a couple substorms.
Oh yeah, look the what
The bulk of it,
depending
if
on the
I line
UT.
up the UT time, was this one here. It trail because this trails the what's at the satellite a little bit since this is measuring what's happening here versus up there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So yeah, we did get a little bit from it. I mean, obviously not much. And then I'm sure, I don't think anybody got anything from it because it was cloudy and the moon's full. So we got a double
I think I
whammy.
saw one photo on Twitter from Canada. I want
Okay.
to say, or at least that's what Tanya said.
Yeah. I believe it.
Harlan.
Anyone that, yeah, might have had clear skies. All right, I'll give it back to you now.
All right, so we've got region covered
Yeah.
as well as the flare, and we don't need that one anymore.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, most of the rest of it's the hype
Yeah,
hype
let's talk
show.
some hype. Let's talk some hype because this is always fun. Because yeah, anybody who's watching that might be watching now, or we'll be seeing more of this as this region comes back around.
And now some of these are the older ones too. Like this
Yeah,
is the Forbes one from the end of May. Man, okay, and let's just take a moment to look at all of this as well. This is why no one wants to read news on a website anymore.
yeah, it really is.
Pop-ups and cookies, and you also, oh, by the way, can we send you notifications? Like,
Yeah,
no, I
so you
want to
just
read the
read the
article.
headline and that's it.
So, but yeah, you're getting all these Northern Lights may show up again. They may show up again. Here's more in Florida. I don't know why Florida had so much, but
I know Florida had a lot of
New
them.
York. And then I didn't actually even open the other ones, so I didn't bother.
Yeah,
But
that
the
the
point
Florida
is,
one was the one I had up. Because actually, and I'm trying to remember because some of these look like they might have been edited or backtracked a little bit. Because I think the Forbes one actually went in and acknowledged that the sunspot would have to like make or give us something to work with. And I don't remember the original article having that in there.
interesting. Yeah, no, I don't think they did. So
Yeah,
that's good to know they backpedaled because a lot of what Forbes writes is just not that great stuff either.
yeah, it was all like June 6th, June 6th. And the thing was with that was the sunspot region was slated to be Earth, like center Earth facing on June 6th, not Aurora on June 6th. So it was like miscommunicated was what the problem was. And then it just spread like wildfire and it was in all the news outlets and yeah. So
And unfortunately for him, it was all Ryan French's comment to one group
yes,
that
because
then
they
everyone used to make
yeah,
news from and misquote him everywhere. And
yeah.
apparently he did not realize it until, let's see, he
Yeah, I
recently
think
made a tweet on it.
I forgot who I know a couple of us were gonna try to tell him, but I forgot who actually got to him first. It's like, look what they're doing to you. Look what they're doing.
There's so many articles. Oh, yep, here we
Oh
go.
yeah. Yeah.
And this is this whole rant about it. So he saw it June 6th, he saw it.
Yeah.
But the point is, he gave out some information, some accurate information, of course, and
Yeah.
then they like to take it and twist it to, oh, he said June 6th and he said Northern Lights. There was a lot of words in between them, but we're going to put those words together because that's the hype.
Yes, that's the
That's
hype.
what you have to do when you're in the media, right? That's
Yeah.
pretty much it.
So you just gotta watch out for that. Just know like when these things resurface that it's gonna be talking about how the sunspot rotates into our view. And then if we get anything from it, that's gonna be the question. So long story short, don't go off of these articles. Look for people that monitor this stuff all the time. That's the information you're gonna want. Unfortunately, we don't have we can't, as much as we would love to predict them a month in advance, you just really can't do that. We can get a
No,
general idea of something, events that happen that may lead to something, and you can get an idea a couple days in advance if that, but it's a month in advance. No. Well, until we get coronal holes again that come over and over and over.
at this point, I'm just telling everybody that if you see an article that has anything to do with space, sun, aurora, anything science related almost, when this is sad to say, but and it's coming from a just general news outlet like a
Yeah,
station, or it's probably inaccurate or overhyped or
correct.
just
Yep.
bad in general. It's sad truth, but I don't see a lot of good articles like the one going around about the Nova right now, and I'm sure a bunch of people are going to start seeing this. I've seen them for the last couple of
Yeah,
weeks.
yeah.
There's a new bright star that's going to be in the sky when it finally blows up, and it'll be like the Jerusalem star. You'll be able to look at it at night, and it'll guide you. No, that hasn't ever really been the case. I've seen two Nova now, two
Yeah.
or photographed at least two. I don't know how many more I've seen, but like they're not that big of a deal. They're not even a technically a star. If you're in a city, you're gonna have a hard time even finding it, let alone trying to make anything mystical out of it. It's a cool concept to think about what it is and
Oh
what you're
yeah,
actually
yeah.
seeing. But the point is, these articles completely just overhype the actual event itself. So people are going to go outside and no one's going to know what they're looking at or where it's at. And people are going to say, this is it and this is it. And you're going to get a bunch of just misinformation. And welcome to the internet, I guess.
Yeah, and then everybody's disappointed. So yeah, speaking on that, so like I guess there was supposed to be a parade of planets this month too.
Oh, God.
And what was left out of these articles was how a couple of them you really need a telescope or something to see because they're just so dim that if you take your wide angle shot, you're not going to see it.
Uranus and Neptune both
Yeah,
are below magnitude 6. So you have to have telescope or at least a long exposure and
yeah,
barely to see them. Jupiter and Venus were both going to be hidden in sunlight because they were both very close to the sun. So literally, it was Mars and
Saturn maybe.
Saturn, but
Yeah,
Saturn's a fairly faint one since it's so far away. So
yeah.
it's not like visually it's anything unless you're looking at it through a pretty heavy duty telescope. But yeah, that went. How many articles did you see on that? Five, six, seven at
A
least.
lot. Like I would see a lot. Comments are another one. Comments tend to get over.
Yep, that's another good one as well. Like we got a comment never coming back. The first time it's ever been here, it'll never be here again. And it's like a sun diver that's barely gonna hit magnitude 6 and it barely has a
Yeah.
coma. Like even photographically, it's not that interesting.
Yeah, it's just so like I bring that up because there's another one in October that they, think may be a thing, but the comments are notoriously really hard to predict on how bright they get. And so it's just one of those things that you can keep it on the radar in the back of your mind. But it's just when you see articles written on it, it's like take it with a grain of salt.
As you apparently have to take all news lately because it's
Yeah,
all about the hype.
it's all about the
Hype,
hype.
hype, 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 hype. I get the need for it in some situations, but I will say, as just a person who doesn't care about anything artificial, it's hype is literal the worst enemy.
Mm, yeah,
It goes in
and
direct contradiction to facts, and it creates inaccuracies. And yeah,
yeah, it does. And then we have to do this. We have to do like these talks on how to like navigate through it.
then we
Like,
have to, as if we wouldn't do it anyway. Come
I
on.
know. Yeah. Now we're just doing it as a service.
But a real public service, yeah.
Yeah.
We
PSA.
can't actually have people think this.
So yeah, there's our little a tidbit of the day on hyped articles. But I guess let's see what else. We didn't go I guess what to expect for this week. I think we had our one sentence thing, which is basically not too much, like Aurora wise anyway. Because there's just nothing to
I
work
mean,
with.
really, yeah, there isn't terribly much potency. The filament I was hoping that would break off is well
Yeah,
past us now. That
yeah,
big ass one
that
in
was
the southern hemisphere.
that was a pretty nice looking one too. It'll let go when it gets on the limb. Watch.
Oh, of course. I don't mind a show though. That's the one
Yeah,
that would put on such a good show on the limb that I think I honestly wouldn't mind it.
yeah, it would be pretty. But
But
yeah,
right now,
right now there's not
nothing
much other than
really as far as the sun-facing disc is concerned. Let's brighten that up a little bit.
yeah,
I don't know why I choose 131 to see it, but the point is, as far as potency goes, centered nothing. We've got
yeah,
the potency in the limbs now, so we'll see if that changes. But dead center, we got nothing.
nothing.
And then some.
Which is it's okay because this is full moon week anyway. So if it picks a good time to be quiet, this would be one of them.
As long as it's not an annoying, well, I guess if you're an actual forecaster, let's say we get
Yeah.
5 or 6 R1 notifications in 12 hours and 2 or 3 partially Earth directed CMEs that
Oh
all
yeah,
go off
because
at the same time.
that's we're on that cusp right now. What happened a couple weeks ago where it turned into a nightmare because he had the one on the limb, but then he also had the
The backside ones.
backsided event. So it's like, what do you do? I'm gonna be really sad when Solar Orbiter isn't in a position to give us the information anymore because
We
this is
just
it's
we
been really
need
valuable.
we need crafts out there, honestly. That's the only way it's gonna really make any sense. Hanging
Yeah.
out at like, well, I think the other was L3 and L5 as far
Mhm.
as where people were thinking of putting them, or
Yeah.
at least that would get you side views of the sun. We need a full 360 of the sun like we had
Hold
before.
on one second.
Oh, she's running off. Okay. Yeah, once we have something that we can look at the sun 360 degrees. Like, for example, we wouldn't have been caught off guard that this other region just suddenly came up instead of it being 3664. Now we know it's not because we had solar orbiter.
Yeah. Yeah,
Now,
it's been super helpful.
on that
So
note,
we're
actually,
gonna miss
in
it.
case anyone hasn't seen the flare yet, just for fun,
Oh yeah, yeah, bring that up. Because it was kind of it was pretty nice.
I don't see too much of
Oh,
a
there it
giant
is.
disturbance. It looks like it was just a mostly confined flare from the looks of it, but it's still pretty.
Yeah, yeah, it's like it didn't. Yeah, it looked like nothing really came out of it.
Yeah, I didn't see any ejections.
Because the thing with it being on the limb, like that's usually when you get those real pretty, like you could tell, like it ejected
Get to see
some.
him shoot out.
Yeah, it ejected some stuff out. So for now, we're just in a waiting pattern for the Aurora chasers out there. Oh, that's pretty cool, right there on the.
Yeah, there's some nice kernel loop dynamics going on
Mhm.
between these two regions on this side.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
There's a few smaller flares too, but
Yeah, that's right, because it flared over there basically at the same
about the
time as
same time.
mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Just
And
makes you wonder how much like how a lot of this is like interconnected
oh,
that
I'm
we
sure.
yeah,
And
that we
you
just
can
don't really know too much about.
you find many examples of that too.
Yeah.
Here, for example, let's look at the full one. There was a flare going up before.
Yep.
That one goes off.
And then
This one
there's
goes
that
off
one.
here.
Yeah.
This one goes off here, and then it goes off again south here. They're all interconnected, so one
Yeah.
changes the other, changes the other.
Yeah, it's pretty
But
cool.
yet they've got their own topology as far as the
Mhm.
immediate region is concerned, as far as what the magnetic fields look like.
Yeah, it's definitely cool. It's fun to watch.
I could just set this on a loop for a while, honestly. This is 131, but I like the red coloring much better
Yeah,
than
I
the.
noticed you color it like the fire sun.
It just, that looks cool, don't get me wrong, but I feel like you see more with the deeper contrast in the reds. Plus, if you merge it with 304, it just blends better that way.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, the teal sun, otherwise the teal sun. All right, well, I guess today could be a shorter day, but that's
I was
fine.
gonna say we had plenty to talk about, but a lot of it was very quick rambling for the
Yeah,
sake of it just
that's
being out
fine.
there.
Yeah. So we can call it for the day, but it's just it's nice to get like just a weekly little quote little
Regularity.
yeah.
Plus, we can always go backwards if we need to and find something that we said on one of the other weeks.
Yeah, that's true. And then of course if anything happens, we'll just hop on and do another one.
We should do a survey too. I know the Facebook situation was frustrating, but I wonder
Yeah.
if Facebook viewing for the live is easier than YouTube viewing.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's one of maybe I'll do something with that this week just to see. And because we could go back to Facebook and then repost it over here if need be.
I can go back and I'll do a survey on the group or the my page at least as well because I'd be interested in knowing that.
Yeah,
It seems
that'd
like
be nice.
Facebook has a lot more ways to be involved, like the commenting, live
Yes.
commenting on that. I don't think YouTube has something similar. I
Right.
could be
And
wrong,
and
but
I'm not sure either. So that's something we can investigate and move forward. I mean, obviously we're still all like figuring this all out. So
well, if we got anyone watching, if you're still going through this, let us know.
yeah, just let us know. Let us know what
YouTube
you
or
think.
Facebook, or I guess tips on whether something would be better over another thing. I don't know.
Yeah, we're all ears because we're still figuring it all out.
For
So
now, this is all casual.
yeah,
Probably
indeed.
will be for a while too.
All right. So on that note, we will see you all next week. And I will end this live feed at least. Let's see here.